Okay.
자,
Well, thank you for joining us this morning. I'm really excited to announce the creation of the governor's team on Every Student Succeeds Act. As you may be aware, the Congress passed last year, at the end of last year, the most important education legislation probably in a decade. You know, we do know that No Child Left Behind assured that every public school would fail because it was unrealistic and set standards that we knew no school in the country could meet. And the ESSA, the new Every Student Safety Act, is really an opportunity for the states to take back control of our public schools. Um, we are forming a governor's team on the ESSA Act to maximize the opportunities and possibilities for Hawaii to transform public education. The goal is to develop a blueprint for Hawaii's public schools that is consistent with the new federal law. The law returns authority over education to governors, districts, educators, and parents. And our top priority is to make certain that it remains with them. You know, ESSA is an opportunity for states to set high standards, but more importantly, to determine expectations that are consistent with empowering our communities to provide the education that all of our children need and deserve. It's definitely a historic law for states, and governors will play an active role across the country. By law, the governor of each state must be involved in and must sign off of the new state education plans that ESSA requires. And the new laws emphasis on collaboration and gubernatorial involvement is an unprecedented alignment coordination across education pipeline. This is a significant opportunity to change public education in Hawaii, and we definitely are grasping it. We need to make changes in our public school system to stay competitive in the new global economy. We do know that innovation will fuel the economy of the future, and it is so important that our public school systems change as well. High quality education from early childhood into placement in the workforce is a commitment that this administration is working on, assuring that our educational institutions are aligned with the jobs of the future. This governor's team on ESSA will embrace public participation and collaboration in the process to make sure that our education system prepares students for the high skill careers that the 21st century requires. We are inviting the public to participate. We'll be setting up on a governor's website process for those who want to participate to apply. The task team will include representatives of all stakeholders in public education, principals, teachers, department personnel. We also will be including partners in education, those organizations that have demonstrated an interest and commitment to improving our public schools. You know, organizations such as the Castle Foundation, the Hawaii Business Roundtable, Hawaii State Teachers Association, HGA as well, all of those entities that need to and should be involved with defining the future of our public school system will be involved. And we will be hosting an education summit this summer to invite all participants to join in the process. The team will be conducting town meetings statewide in an effort to include public participation in this opportunity to relook at public education in the state of Hawaii. And so with that, I would like to invite Lance Mizumoto, who's chair of the Board of Education, who will be partner in this, to make a few comments.
Thanks, Governor, and good morning. I think this is a great day for all of us. This is a great opportunity given the passage again of the Every Student Succeeds Act. And I think, again, this is an opportunity for us to all collaborate as community stakeholders in improving public education. Our Board of Education, as well as the Department of Education, have already made preparations to start reviewing the existing current strategic plan. And part of this plan now will include the collaboration with this new team. And so I'm very excited about working with the governor, working with the team to ensure that we have a thoughtful and methodical process in terms of reviewing this current strategic plan.
Thanks, Lance. I am also proud to announce that we have a chair for this team on ESSA implementation. I've asked Darryl Galera, who is a retired, longtime retired principal from the public school system, to head the task team as we work through looking at the opportunity that Every Student Succeeds Acts provide for our community. Darryl?
Good afternoon. Just a brief comment. I think the creation of the governor's ESSA team is a clear reflection of and a great response to the urgency and the opportunity before the state. The urgency in that this is such a historic law, and the timing and the timeline is short for the amount of work that has to be done. And the opportunity is unprecedented in terms of how Hawaii can move forward and be empowered to create a global class education system. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Darryl. And I would like to note that Senator Kidani is also here. The task team will include representatives of the legislature, one from the House and one from the Senate as well. And we definitely look forward to their participation, as we do believe that collaboration amongst all stakeholders is essential to the success of the team as we move forward. And with that, I'm open to any questions that you might have.
What's the timetable for implementing ESSA in our schools here?
Well, I think the federal law sets a deadline of July 1st of next year. The task team has a very ambitious and aggressive schedule. You know, we will be, like I said, planning for a summit in early summer. And then town meetings throughout the rest of the year. And the plan is to have a plan to present by the end of this year for consideration in case legislation is required or any other changes through the budget process as well to implement.
No Child Left Behind set a very high bar, and I think teacher evaluations were a big sticking point, as well as student testing. How do you see those evolving going forward?
The new Every Student Succeeds Act makes clear that the states have the authority to determine what the assessment system should be. And so clearly, I do think that the team on ESSA implementation will be looking at how we should measure success. The law does require an assessment but it gives the authority to define what that assessment is to the states. The law does require a determination of annual adequate yearly progress of our public school systems. Again, it allows the states to define what and how we measure that. And so again, I think the task before the team is to really look at the existing systems that are in place and make a determination of appropriate changes that would be more consistent and aligned with what our community needs.
And as far as the teacher assessment,
Again, the hope is that the task team could look at the issue as an opportunity to evaluate what the current process is and look at how we might want to change it within the context of the flexibility provided by the new law.
How will this improve education for the kids?
I think it's two things. It's really about collaboration and getting all stakeholders. As I said, legislature, the board, members of the governor, not directly in the administration. It will include teachers and principals and community members directly. And again, we are including partners in education, and we will be reaching out to all of those who have demonstrated interest in our public school system. So I do have faith and confidence in our community. I have come to the conclusion that every community is different, and it really isn't one size fits all. We need to ensure that our communities have adequate input in determining what is best for the children in their community. And this really is an opportunity to create a public school system that truly empowers schools, principals, and communities to determine what's in the best interest of their community in what our children need.
In the spirit of collaboration, what role did the superintendent play in?
She has been involved and briefed. As you may be aware, we did have Stephen Parker from the NGA come down a couple weeks ago, and he did have an opportunity.
Session will convene in 15 minutes. Members of the House, session will convene in 15 minutes. Mahalo.
I haven't quite figured out how to turn off that. He did have an opportunity to brief the legislature. He had a session with the leadership team, Kathy's leadership team, and community meetings as well. So we definitely have been in conversation. She would have been here, but she had committed to meeting previously. So.
And I'm also curious, maybe from Principal Galera, you were involved in a survey of principals not too long ago, which showed some discontent. And at that time, you were critical of the DOE administration's response. Do you have any thoughts? Is this effort an opportunity to give principals more say? Is that why you're getting involved?
I think this is about the governor's leadership and vision. And this is a historic law, and just the opportunity is unprecedented. So that's why I think we're very inspired to be part of this process.
but how much will governance be or play as a part of this whole blueprint going forward?
I really don't think this is about governance, other than it really is about empowerment. I think I've been pretty consistent from my time in the legislature. I truly believe that the best way to maximize the opportunity for our children and maximize the performance of our schools is to truly empower the principals, teachers, community, those closest to the children, to define what is most important, what curriculum is most important, what kinds of programs develop the students in the best way. And we are looking at how we can change the public school system to enable that.
Can you give us any specifics on, an example of what you don't like that's going on now, what you might want to see?
I
It's a
don't,
lot of generalities, it's kind of
well,
hard.
I don't want to prejudge. Obviously, I think the challenge and the task that we're putting before the task team is to really examine what is currently happening in the department and the systems and decisions that they have in place today, and really ask about what the potential and what the possibility for doing it differently, and most importantly, how those kinds of changes will result in better student outcomes.
Could it get to the point, Governor, where whatever is decided by the task team will influence how funds are spent by the department itself?
You know, we do anticipate, and Chair Mizumoto has been going through the process of aligning the strategic plan. And the intent would be to really roll that into how funds are allocated and spent. I mean, you know, in most organizations, that's what's occurred, right? Your strategic plan should identify what the important initiatives, those areas that you think would have most impact on the expected outcomes. So part of the enterprise is that the board has already initiated a revisit and a rethinking of the strategic plan. ESSA really just gives us the opportunity again to really relook at the entire system. And that's what the hope is, that we would align the activities of the governor's team with the activities of the Board of Education to really look at what we should be doing and how we should be focusing our resources.
Anything else? Well said. Thanks. Thanks, everybody. I have a news release here.
Thank
for
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.